creeping horror stalks her close, but as she turns, the terror slows. No, she can't see the hidden danger, for if she could, the sight would change her. The strange man told her not to go, but nothing frightens Lily Coslow. Elsewhere deep within a catacomb, train the denizens of Winter's funeral home. A man called Rolf becoming stronger, but will Alan's bonds hold much longer? We see the man called Rolf lunge at his enemy, holding a small dagger. It clinks off this stranger's armor, and he falls to the ground. We'll pick up there.
Yeah! That was cool. I like how you made the little poem for the intro.
You realize I did that last time too, right?
That was really cute, Julio.
Oh, you did?
You weren't listening last time.
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't catch it was rhyming
Oh
last
my
time.
god.
Wow, fucking
Wow.
I think the GMs
Cool,
are
good to
having
know
a little
all my
bitch
work
fight.
For not
is
appreciated.
completely noticed and acknowledged. It's awesome. Oh, this isn't the start of a mystery, is it?
No,
No.
it's
You already
not.
got your permission.
That's last
Okay.
week.
Technically,
That's
yes.
Never mind. Oh yeah, I guess technically yes, since you guys didn't actually start the mystery last week.
Oh
You
yeah.
can just start it
Yeah.
today.
Because
No.
fucking the man called Rolf is the star of the fucking show.
No, the countdown has already started.
We're so fucked. Yep.
The man called Rolf, you fall to the ground and you look up at your instructor as she just looks down on you in disappointment.
The man called Rolf kind of starts rubbing his left temple again, and he says, "The man called Rolf doesn't get it!"
What do you mean?
And he kind of throws the knife aside, frustrated.
The man called Rolf, you must focus.
The man called Rolf can't focus when half his brain is missing.
Listen. Oh, God, I'm not good at this. I didn't know I was gonna have to fucking train someone on combat and focus. Okay, I'm focused. Okay.
Focus.
What can I say? Okay. Try to. The man called Rolf. Close your eyes. Are your eyes closed?
That's you weird.
Are your eyes closed?
The man called Rolf is not sure.
Oh my god. What?
Listen to me.
Is it dark?
She like kneels down because I guess he fell down, right? So she kneels down. She puts her hand on his shoulder. She puts her right hand on his left shoulder, and she says, "Trust me. Close your eyes.
The man called Rolf closes his eyes slowly.
Imagine you're at the front of a lake. Is that how you say that? And slowly start to walk into the lake. Now, when I count to 3, you will be submerged under the water.
The man called Rolf doesn't think he wants to go into the lake. He drank a lot of water
Ease your
earlier.
mind. You are invincible. To open your eyes and breathe. No, he can breathe underwater. It's inside of his head. Gosh, guys, this is a fucking technique I learned from a show that I watched last week. Okay.
Can we come up with some original stuff?
Stop, this is original. This is a technique hypnotizers use. Hypnotists. Okay. Now, what do you see, the man called Rolf?
The man called
sees Sarah
Rolf
Miller.
sees... The man called Rolf sees Sarah Miller standing on a cold, dark lake shrouded in shadow.
Walk.
And she stares balefully at him. And she almost seems to be beckoning, but there is something hateful in her eyes.
What is it?
I'm not
She's too
sure
far.
what she's saying. She's too far for the man called Rolf to hear.
Focus on her mouth. What is she saying?
The man called Rolf is still in this vision state. He's still rubbing his left temple furiously. And it's almost like he's like cranking on or using a crank to zoom in with his vision. And it just kind of like we see the camera kind of bobbles a little bit as it zooms in. And it's like out of focus, and then it finally focuses on Sarah Miller's face.
Focuses more precisely on her mouth, and You can see her mouth some of the words.
What is she saying?
Skra.
Mirror, unwilling whispers. And then the mouth kind of changes. But you can't get a full view of this new face because you're too zoomed in.
What's happening now, the man called Rolf?
The man called Rolf thinks she changed, but he's not sure what into. And he can't make out the words. And he, like, I feel like Esmeralda sees, like, a bead of sweat rolling down the side of the man called Rolf's head.
Take a deep breath. And try to walk closer.
And the man called Rolf kinda, he kinda cranks back his vision a little bit, and he starts walking forward towards Sarah Miller.
As you get closer, your vision clears. The dark haze around her starts to kind of lift a little bit, but it's more like it starts to expand and envelop you, so you're kind of in this black hazy dome, but everything within it is clear. As you get closer, her face shifts, and it starts matching up with the mouth that you saw. And as you get within a few feet from Sarah Miller, you see yourself holding the bloody dagger, Evan Cooper's bloody dagger, and you're covered in his blood.
Do I see him look, like, scared? Like, do I see him tense?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
The man called Rolf's eyes suddenly snap open, and he's, like, completely pale, and he's drenched in sweat. And he just kinda turns and looks at Esmeralda, and he says, "The man called Rolf is guilty of everything.
Listen to me.
The man called Rolf doesn't deserve friends." And he tries to get up and leave, and tries to go to his room.
And she grabs him. No, fuck no, bitch, you're not leaving. You have to take control. You have to focus on your inner strength. And focus on letting go of the past. Forgiving yourself for things that were honestly outside of your control.
But the man called Rolf chose to kill the mayor.
We all thought.
He is guilty.
The man called Rolf.
The man called Rolf is a monster.
She slaps him.
Yeah.
She slaps
There we go.
Listen to me.
Oh.
We all thought that he was a monster. And in some way, he was. He summoned those things to this town. If we didn't stop him, we don't know if it would be worse or better than what's happened already. Yes, maybe it wasn't the right decision, but it was our decision, and now we're fixing it. So you have to focus on controlling that other side of yourself that feels guilt. There's nothing to feel guilty about. You have to forgive.
Roll manipulate some.
Ooh.
And mark experience, because that's charm. Okay, so on an 8, you're gonna mark experience if you do it. But I think she has to do something. Let me check the reference sheet. Oh, that's it. You mark experience if you do it.
I do.
Show us. Tell us how that happens.
So I'm telling you, take control. How are you doing this, Harley? How are you focusing?
And so we kind of see the man called Rolf he kind of takes a breath, and he's like, he kind of closes his eyes, and we see him on that shadowy lake staring at himself. And he kind of slowly walks around this image of himself holding the bloody dagger and coated in blood. And he suddenly, like, he's almost in an instant, he just reaches out behind the image and dunks it into the water below him. And when he lets go, he sees the man called, the vision of the man called Rolf appear, and it's completely clean. And the vision smiles, and he kind of, and at this point, the cloudiness disappears, and he opens his eyes, and he feels lighter than before. as though a cloud has been lifted.
Restore luck.
That was
Yes!
so good, Harley. That was really, like,
Thanks.
And that's a
great.
perfect transition. Where do we find Rudius?
I'm in the bathroom.
He's
Wow.
Okay.
God.
Are you taking a shit?
No. I'm actually creating like a secret magical training room in the bathroom.
You have the attic.
What?
Drawing out-
Oh.
I get it. Okay. As you're doing that, your amulet lifts up from your chest for a second, and you hear, "No," and that's it.
Yes.
And you recognize it as Sarah Miller's voice, but it trails off and fades as if, leaving.
Am I able to speak to Alan whenever, or do I have to do that thing again?
You can do it, but you'll roll use magic every time that you try to converse with him.
I just asked him, did you hear that?
Well, remember that, okay. You have to do your gestures, but whatever you say to him counts as your incantation to him.
Yeah. I'll do my gestures.
What gestures do you do?
Well, yeah. What do your gestures look like?
Oh no.
It's like a shadow conduit.
Oh my god.
Well, it's more like, the
Naruto
arcade
hand
symbols Dr. Strange and his little groupies make.
Okay, so
It's similar to
kind of
that.
circular.
Circular with like weird fingers.
You basically draw symbols in the air with your
Shapes.
fingers.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Especially since you're all like wind power anyway, so. Okay, so did you roll?
Yeah, we got a 13.
Sick. So you have
Damn.
advanced use magic. So I'm gonna say that your bonus for this episode is that or for this session, you won't have to roll again to converse with him. For this session, you'll be able to just
That's
converse
nice.
with him.
Cool.
I just asked him, did you hear that?
Uh,
I'm talking
Remember,
to you,
use your
Alan.
dark voice.
yeah. Of course I heard it. Why wouldn't I have heard it?
What was it? Like, I've been hearing that ever since you started residing in my amulet.
You must be stupider than I thought. Because that was obviously the man called Rolf's guilt finally receding. You dolt.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, yeah?
Uh-huh.
At that moment, Dabian walks by the bathroom and he looks in to see Rudius talking to himself.
What the hell are you doing? I know it's a private place, but you okay?
I like to think out loud at times. It helps me focus, And I'm, drawing a pentagram on the ground, so there's a bit of incantations going on, so it's probably something like that you heard.
Alright, just tell Satan to clean up once he's done, and he just walks away.
That impudent whelp, how dare he call me Satan?
How
It's
dare
actually
It's
Saturn.
Dr.
He's a
Satan.
strange one.
Just a reminder for the listeners, keep this in mind during this session, is that everybody's still wearing their Halloween costumes.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's,
Oh,
yeah.
Everyone looks super... Wait, okay, let's do a recap.
Fudge.
I'm gonna recap. Who was wearing what? Who's wearing who? Just kidding.
I
The-
don't remember.
The man called Rolf was wearing
want
it was a mime's outfit.
Who is the cowboy?
Olaf.
Yeah.
Who is the cat?
And
It wasn't
The
me.
sexy cat? Like...
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, and
The leather sexy cat.
how can
Yeah.
I forget Damien is a sexy
Oh, man.
scarecrow?
God damn it, I would forget.
And
Was I?
What is Esmeralda wearing? Something that
What
Dabian
were
didn't
you
like.
Fucking clowns.
Oh, that's right,
God,
that's
fuck.
right.
Yeah, it was a
Is
clown.
that everyone?
I hate clowns.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
that's
what year did it come out?
Oh no.
Because this is 92.
If it came out in this year or like before, I'm definitely it. And I always have like
It came out in 1990, so it came out 2 years before this.
Nice.
I have like balloons. tied
it's
around
that
my wrist.
old?
Apparently.
Yeah.
It was the original.
Holy shit.
She inspired it.
She is it.
Speaking of it, Where do we find Olaf?
Olaf.
Oh, damn.
Are you calling me it? Wow.
Shots fired.
Olaf is in the catacombs. His catacombs. Combs.
Oh, so
And
you're down there with them then?
everyone's down there?
Yeah,
That's where
Yes.
Esmeralda and the man
Most of
called
he
Rolf are
has a
training.
secret room where he hides while he watches
Okay, well,
Harley,
Jerks
Harley
off.
train, and he jacks off to Harley. The man called Rolf, I should
I was
say.
actually in like a hidden room right besides theirs that has like a peephole. And
You have to,
I
you
was
have to pull a torch to open the.
Does it have a glory
Yeah.
Kind of
photo?
Batman shit.
No, I have to rotate several skulls in a certain sequence.
Wow.
My
Oh,
God.
and then you get into one of those standing like
Freaking
coffin
Batcave.
things, and then it flips around and puts you into the secret room.
Oh yeah, dude.
Gosh.
All right.
So
So then,
stupid.
and I'm just making I just finished making preparations while they were doing their training for the creation of
The dagger.
the dagger. Yes.
Yeah. So
And-
I have a feeling that since this is a funeral home, they probably have like a furnace to burn the bodies, like for.
They should.
has like a
and-
crematory
The
too?
cremate. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you've
Probably,
adapted
yeah.
that into some sort of forge.
Yeah. There's an old one that was out of commission, and I sort of adapted that. It was just gathered in dust. I mean, the other one is too, but I used the broken one because.
You tested it out to make your bone shotgun, right?
Yeah, I cast my parts using that. I had a coffin set up where like I would just put the coffin in and I had all the molds and stuff.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool. So let's see. Let's roll for some hunches.
Ooh, okay.
Alrighty. It's sharp,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
It's sharp?
14.
That's gonna be a
Jesus.
10 for
Damn,
me.
boy.
Okay, so you both
Those
passed.
rolls.
Wait, did I get a hunch?
No.
Oh, I
No,
rolled anyway.
just not.
Do I get a...
Okay, so you both get this feeling that there's something wrong at Cat's Diner.
The man called Rolf. The camera comes back to where the man called Rolf just lifted his gill, and he kind of he like perks up for a moment, and he kind of turns to Esmeralda and he says, "Esmeralda, the man called Rolf feels something is wrong at Cat's Diner. We should leave immediately."
All right, let's go tell the others.
On my side, can I say I have like one of those do not enter signs that I can hang from like the outside of the
Yeah,
door?
you stole it from the Hamilton Inn.
Yeah, I put that on the door of the bathroom before I close it, and before running out, I just yell at Damien that meet up at Cat's Diner, and then just sprint out and head to Cat's Diner.
Okay. Olaf, you're aware because you were kind of spying on them.
Yeah. Oh, as they're walking out of their room, I just appear behind them, walking like nothing. Like I
Like
wasn't
nothing
even aware.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
walk up behind
Very
them
instant.
and follow them
Very
along.
Oh, hi,
Yep.
Olaf.
Hello.
Where'd you come from?
You know.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have to go to Cat's Diner because there seems to be some trouble.
I heard.
Oh, what? How? Okay, anyways, let's go.
Davian, do you go too?
Yes, I do. And on the way, I check the sign of the bathroom. I was like, what the hell is this man doing? And then just slowly walk away.
You could kind of smell a little bit of sulfur coming from the bathroom.
Oh, and sulfur smells.
Yikes.
I know. It's,
Yeah, like rotten eggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so the group kind of finds each other right outside the funeral home, right before they head to Cat's Diner. So you guys kind of all arrive together. Inside, you see, like as you pass by the windows, you see that there's like a commotion inside with Cat and this guy that you guys haven't seen before.
Like, is he physically hurting you, or is he just like
No, they're
verbal?
arguing, and he's like he like knocks his plate down to the ground and it breaks and everything.
Look for the burliest count around me. I'm assuming that's Olaf.
Yeah.
I look at him, and then I look at the commotion. I look at him, and look at the commotion again. I do that until he goes and
The man called Rolf, because he's feeling...
Giving him a sign.
The man called Rolf is feeling more heroic than usual, and he runs in and tries to get between Cat and the stranger.
Olaf shadows him.
So just to clarify, you have just a regular dagger. It's the same stats as your big knife, but you have that right now.
Cool.
Yeah, and but Esmeralda kind of watches you to see how the training has actually progressed and see if you've actually learned anything
so
as you rush in.
Here's your test.
Was that Esmeralda or was that you?
No, that was just me.
Okay.
So like we kind of
Here's your test, the man called Rolf. Let's see what you're made of.
The man called Rolf kind of waves at her as he's running in, and then he kind of bursts through the door, and he like he does almost like the 80s style slide where he kind of does a baseball slide in between Cat and the stranger, and he just kind of stands up and he goes, "The man called Rolf says leave Cat alone."
Who the hell do you think you are?
He's your
Is this a
boyfriend!
fisherman?
The man called Rolf is simply a friend to Cat.
You best get out of my face right now, boy.
The man called Rolf gazes angrily at this stranger, and he almost feels like there could be an ignition of flame, but for some reason, like, there's just like wisps of embers in the air, and they disappear as quickly as they appear. And
interesting.
And he, because the magic is not working as usual, he resorts to he doesn't pull out the knife, but he kind of flashes it in his belt to try and intimidate the man.
Okay, after Olaf does that, does anybody else want to do something before?
Wait, what did Olaf?
I shadowed him in.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang back and see how Rolf progress.
Like, I'll go into the diner, but not approach the
Yeah.
Yeah, same
I'll
here.
watch from a
I'm
distance.
observing
At the door.
to see
We'll
how
watch from a distance.
the man called Rolf does on his training, with his training.
Yep. We're like parents watching the kids go to school or something.
We're so
Okay.
proud.
So then, since most people are hanging back, Rolf, what do you do?
So
Were
the
you
man
just
called...
trying to like intimidate him?
Yeah.
Okay, so then roll manipulate someone.
Okay. That's gonna be no bonus. Here we go. I rolled a 3!
He, as soon as you flash the knife, he takes a step closer to you, so he's right up in your face. And, you can see his teeth are like rotted and like black. And, he kind of pulls back his overcoat too, and you see a knife on him too. Says,
Olaf walks closer.
You don't scare me, boy. And then he looks over out of the corner of his eye at Olaf. Guess you can't fight your own fights, huh?
The man called Rolf, upon seeing the knife, reaches in very quickly and takes the knife from him.
Oh boy.
Oof, roll act under pressure.
That's focus.
Yes.
Alright, come on!
Yep.
That's focus.
Wait, actually,
Focus, focus.
Esmeralda, if you can explain how his focus training is going to help him with this specific action, he'll get a +1.
He's not worried about any of the outside surroundings.
She's telling this to the rest of the group that's watching.
Yeah, we're like parents at a soccer game. Look,
Narrating the action.
Look at his focus. He's not concerned about any of the outside surroundings, focusing on the knife. And on the fact that he wants to grab it.
Very good.
Is that kind of good? I don't know.
Good enough.
I'm thinking like he's like an animal in the wilderness, and I'm like...
Look at his
You sound
focus.
like
He's
a
so
Discovery
focused on
Channel
a singular focus.
I don't know what to say. Okay.
Here we observe a
No,
wolf
fine,
in
I'm
his
gonna try.
natural habitat.
Is that with the bonus?
That's
The
with
knife-
that's with the bonus and my modifier.
Okay.
Wait, what do you get?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. Wait,
As
can
you
I help
reach for
him?
the knife,
Can-
you already-
yeah,
you-
actually,
you
because
already
Olaf
did.
is right.
Let this happen.
Oh, I can. Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
man.
As you go to
The poor
grab the
child.
knife, he grabs your hand, your wrist, and so he grabs his knife. His knife is on his left side. He grabs your wrist. I'm guessing this is your right hand since it's
Yeah.
on his left side. He grabs your wrist with his left hand, and then with his right hand, he pulls you in close and like grabs your shirt.
He can hear Esmeralda's voice inside of his head saying,
Boy, kick his nuts!
wait, I thought you were going to talk, Julio.
I am. I'm just trying to think of what he would say.
Esmeralda would say?
No, what this guy
No.
would say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was Esmeralda gonna say?
She's just going to tell you to focus.
Focus.
You can hear Esmeralda's voice inside of his head saying, focus.
I quickly looked towards Damien and whispered to him, Quick, hand me your phone!
I give him the phone. You better know what you're doing.
I sort of get closer to the commotion, hold the phone to my ear. I don't actually make a call, I just act like I'm on the phone. It's like, Sheriff! I'm at Cass Diner! There's some big burly men attacking people here! Quick!
Oh God.
So I didn't really
Oh
describe
my
this guy,
God.
but he's kind of tall, really lanky. He's got like really crooked and fucked up teeth, like I already said.
So he's like
his
a guard.
eyes-
It's like those sailor people.
Yeah, like a sailor. He's like
Pirate.
he's pretty lean, and his eyes are like they're like a grayish blue, and he's got like really ratty like gray hair. It reaches down to almost his shoulders, a little bit less.
Does he have it in a braid?
No, he does not have any braid. So he looks over at Rudius. Rudius, roll manipulate someone.
Yes, shit. 9.
Nice.
Okay,
Ooh.
so they'll do it, but you need to do something right now to show them you mean it.
I'm already on the phone.
You gotta do something else.
Oh, I looked towards Damien. Damien, I just saw a patrol car move past. Quick, flag it down!
That
Davian,
must be the sheriff.
what do you
I'll
do?
go and get her.
Okay.
I walk towards the direction.
He sees Davian run out and like start chasing a car, and he can't really see the car, so he pushes the man called Rolf back. He's like, "You're not worth it." He takes something out of his pocket and he throws it out to the counter. It's like a bunch of bills. Here's your goddamn money. Food was shit anyway. He pushes
Hola.
past everyone and walks out.
Oh, well,
Oh,
so I
Olaf.
kind of imagined
Okay.
whenever he pushed the man called Rolf over that he fell on top of Kat since he got in between them.
Well, she was behind the counter still, so you're kind of
Oh,
like
okay.
against the counter.
Okay.
I should have probably described that a little bit better. But you do notice something once he pushes you out that kind of keeps you from going after him. And that's that he put something in your shirt pocket.
The man called Rolf reaches in and grabs the object.
It's a small, like, little bunch of, like, in, like, a little plastic wrapper bag thing. And it's full of candy corn.
The man called Rolf does not even like sweets.
Damn.
Thank y'all. I don't know what I was gonna do. I actually, he didn't give me a chance to get to the phone. Is the sheriff on the way?
No, I lied about that whole thing.
Yep.
You see
I
Esmeralda
don't wanna create
while this is going
More
on.
commotion than
She
needed.
grabs the bag of candy corn and starts eating it.
Jesus.
Outside,
Not even a word, she just starts eating.
you hear woo, and you see Davian walk back in, and tells you that he flagged down the sheriff.
Oh my god.
I'm so confused. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, Damien.
It was actually a patrol vehicle?
Apparently. It's like you predicted this.
And in walks everyone's favorite law officer.
I start to clap.
Of course she does.
Just in time, Sheriff Coslow. Just in
Wonderful,
time.
Sheriff Coslow. Oh my gosh.
Greetings,
Look,
Star Lady.
And I point to Rudius and I'm like, and look who got the cat costume. Because remember, she wanted the cat costume.
She walks in kind of just assessing the situation. As soon as she sees this whole reception, her face just like drops and she looks so like disappointed. Cat, is everything okay here? Yeah, Sheriff, they actually helped me out. What happened here? This guy, some out-of-towner, he was causing all sorts of trouble about his food, and he didn't want to pay up. Okay, I'm gonna send one of my deputies over here, and he'll get a statement from you in just a few minutes, okay? Alright.
Can I just say something really quick? Julio, I'm really surprised when you were thinking of something for that out-of-towner to say, that he didn't say anything about the man called Rolf's mime costume.
Hey, he's into
It's
character.
normal.
He disappeared like a mime did.
Everyone's in Halloween costume. Is Cat wearing a cat costume?
Oh my god.
Please.
Cat's
Cannot.
wearing
she's
the
like-
same cat costume that Rudius is wearing.
Yes!
Who wore it better?
Except for she's not wearing like the whole like sexy thing. She's wearing just like the ears and like.
Regular
So
cat,
Rudius
okay.
looks better because he's more sexy.
You see all his hair? Ooh.
Ew.
No, he shaved for the occasion.
Well, I guess thanks for putting a stop to that.
The man called
No
Rolf kind of just gives us a
Best
slight
thing good
bow.
Samaritans.
Stay out of trouble. She
Wait.
walks out.
Star Lady! Wait! And the man called Rolf
Actually,
kind
I
of
was
runs
thinking
after
of the
her.
same thing.
Oh
I
my
run
God.
after him because I kind of think I know what he's gonna say.
You both
I
catch
just
up to
stared
her
at them both.
outside.
Star Lady, the man called Rolf needs to speak to you.
Will you stop calling me that?
The man called Rolf does not know any other way to address Star Lady. And he kind of shrugs.
Coslow! Sheriff Coslow!
The man called...
Or Sheriff
The man called
Coleslaw.
Rolf kind of shrugs and he says, regardless, the man called Rolf needs to tell you to Coslow should stay away from the forest.
Look, we have a whole thing going on in the forest right now. This guy brought in this whole ride, I guess. I don't know. He's putting it up for Halloween, and look, talk to Hughes if you want us out of the forest. I'm not really interested in any of that kind of stuff.
You can't get yourself off of it, though. Off of that, I guess, job?
Duty.
Well,
Dude,
since
you're-
Hughes is the mayor now, I'm the only sheriff. We're pretty short-staffed.
And they have you putting up a ride in the forest.
I'm overseeing everything. You, of all people, should know everything that's gone on in the forest these past few weeks.
We do, and that's why we're asking you to be careful and stay away.
Look, we've got deputies all over the place, okay? He's just setting up a ride, and I don't know, maybe you guys could come by sometime once it's open and relax.
I don't think any
I'm
of us...
sure the kids would love that. I look at Rolf and Olaf.
I don't think we know the meaning of relax. Just maybe try not to go out at night.
I don't think you understand the responsibilities of a cop, do you?
I don't when they're putting up a ride.
Look, just stay out of trouble, okay? She gets into the vehicle and takes off.
The man called Rolf is really worried. And he's not rubbing his temple anymore, but he's still tapping on it.
At that moment, a flyer, like, kind of blows in the wind, and, actually, Rudius, you feel it, because you're kind of, like, attuned to the wind and whatever. Anyway,
Yes, the wind.
the flyer flies right by, and, Rudius, you catch it.
What is this?
It says, Haunted Hayride. Open from the 31st to November 1st. Or actually, sorry, open from the 30th to November 1st.
Ooh, this looks interesting. Look at this, guys.
What is it?
So it explains how there's
So-
like a hayride through the forest, and it ends in like the main clearing. It kind of does like a loop through the forest, like not very far, but like a half-mile loop through the forest, and it ends at the very first clearing, kind of where the party was in the 4th of July party, and that will be a pumpkin patch for the kids.
I say we investigate the forest through the haunted hayride.
The man called Rolf agrees.
Haunted
We
hayride.
must.
That sounds fun.
That sounds like our daily life.
Did it have caramel dipped apples?
Oh, I really hope so.
Olaf walks out
Big
holding a
lips
bag
on
of like burgers and fries.
He hands them to the man called Rolf. Here
Olaf,
you
did you
go.
get those unsalted?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The man called Rolf kind of just takes a single burger out of the bag, and he unwraps it, and he looks at it hungrily, and then just starts mashing it into his face really quickly.
Hand me one too, man.
So the man called Rolf is used to just kind of
Yeah,
scarfing down food, but you realize that you can actually taste it this time.
The man called Rolf does not know what the sensation is.
Unsalted.
What do you mean?
Huh?
The man called Rolf has never felt any feelings for food, but the man...
That's a weird kink you got there, man.
What? The man called Rolf does not know how to comprehend this. What is this?
Food.
Are you talking about taste? Yeah, food has taste.
And he goes back into the bag and he pulls out some fries, and he studies it intently, and he's got up in front a single fry held up between his eyes, and then he munches on it, and you kind of see his eyes close, almost like he's in ecstasy as he's chewing on this fry and tasting it.
I just look at him funny and reach over and grab a burger in the bag.
Hey, that was for the man called Rolf. Give it back.
We
Oh my
flash
God.
back to a couple minutes before where Kat hands him the bag. Here's some free burgers and fries for your friends, just as a thank you.
And then Olaf
Yes.
unsalted.
Is it unsalted?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay.
This is how he dies. Death by fry.
He grabs him back.
That's
you
how
can
he
feel the
retires his
salt in
character.
the bag.
Alright, so what does the group do?
I'm assuming
Oh.
we're... Oh.
Wait, yeah, okay. Wait, can I ask something really quick? You said that we all get in the car together. What car do we have?
Car?
Oh, we just walked here?
Car?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just walk everywhere.
All right, to the forest. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I feel like
What was that?
What kind of Batman should
That was like in Scooby Doo when they would be in the.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I know, yeah.
Oh wait, not Scooby Doo. Oh, it's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman.
Well, that's when I ask Esmeralda, hey, are you done with Rolf's, you're part of the train?
I don't know. And I look into
He
myself.
shows some real focus there.
I look into myself and I focus hard and I ask,
No, he's not even close.
The GM.
Are we done with the training?
No, not even close.
He's connected to God.
No, Rudius, we're not even close.
It's my turn next.
That's okay.
Okay.
Dibs.
Well, my whole thing is ready.
Shotgun.
You have a
Are you
shotgun.
fair
Oh,
enough?
don't
Pointing
bring
at
back
your shotgun?
memories with the shotgun.
Yeah, remember the salt? Afterwards?
Yeah.
No, this shotgun. And he pulls it out.
Oh my god.
Well, I thought he was gonna pull out
it's
his
this,
Oh my-
muscles.
it's this grotesque looking, double barrel shotgun, but it's crafted out of bones and pieces of like dried flesh. Like it looks almost like if it was crafted out of Olaf's own arm somehow.
Oh.
But it's really gross looking, and it's really long too. It's like
Or what did
3
you make
feet
that
long.
out
That
of?
looks like something out of a Cronenberg film. Cronenberg films were around during this.
cool story, bro.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay, so the group goes to the forest.
I guess for the haunted hero, I think.
Wait, has that started already?
It starts
or
this
is
night.
that in the future?
I guess we're gonna help out. What
I feel
the
like there's
fuck
there's
is-
like a
What time of
montage
day
of
is
them
it?
all walking along the sidewalk, like from the side, and we see Rolf in the back, and he's still kind of like munching on fries, and like he's eating them super slowly and actually enjoying them.
You stole my thing, you piece of shit.
Oh, I scarfed that shit down.
I thought
She
Olaf.
ate it.
Oh,
Oh, you ate all of it?
Yeah, like you can see
Jesus
my
Christ.
tongue is orange because it was like really tinted orange candy.
Okay, roll act under pressure.
Oh,
Wait, let me-
what?
Damn.
I don't even have.
She was probably
honey.
poisoned, man.
Dead by food? Is that how
My
we died?
harm is still at 3.
Wait,
Where
did
were
we
you
heal between
when
sessions?
diarrhea hit?
Eating the pie?
Nice.
That's my answer.
I said
Oh,
no.
nice.
Bitches.
Oh,
Okay, so
Nothing good happens, right? I get some.
you
extra
feel your stomach start rumbling.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
It becomes more corny.
What was that?
Um.
What was that noise?
I don't know. Was that you, Damien? Was that your stomach?
No,
Wait,
I'm
was it
pretty
stomach?
good.
It's
You have enough time.
Sound like a dog
maybe it's the man
growling.
called Rolf because he can taste again, or he can.
You
taste-
have enough time to get to the bathroom, but only if you go now.
Okay, guys, I gotta. Wait, hold on. Let's get. Okay, and I run back to Cat's Diner and I use the
Is she
bathroom.
okay?
At Cat's Diner,
What's
you're
wrong with
closer to
her?
I don't know.
the funeral home.
Okay, I run to the funeral home and I use the bathroom.
You rush in and you step all over whatever
Oh shit!
Rudy has had all over the bathroom. You knock over all of his stuff and
And you just hear, "One stinky dinky, huh? Huh?
Oh my god!
2 stinky dinky."
What the fuck?
Sorry.
yeah. Okay. What do the rest of you guys do?
We keep walking to
What the
forest,
fuck? You
hoping
guys-
No,
it'll
I'm
catch up.
assuming and the man called
Yes.
Rolf would have followed Esmeralda to check on her.
Oh, thank you. You're so
Oh.
Rolf, but it's mostly because Rolf thinks that she got a hunch, because that's how he reacts when he gets a hunch.
He
Yeah.
acts like he has diarrhea. Like he has the runs.
So he's kind of like
She-
he's still holding the fries close to his chest, but he's kind of like crouch walking again. He's kind of like looking around carefully as he enters the funeral home, and he kind of like I feel like he steps onto the stairs up to the bathroom, and
Wait,
the
I have-
smell kind of hits his nose, and he's
Wait,
like,
no. And then does Esmeralda hear someone's footsteps? Does Esmeralda hear someone's like footsteps and stuff?
Yeah, there's creaky
Okay,
stairs.
And I just want to remind the viewers at home, this is like the worst case scenario bathroom plus the sulfur that was in there.
"Oh yeah."
Anyways.
No.
Anyways.
Saving face.
She yells out, whoever's out there, there's something horrible in here. Stay away. I'm defeating it. I'm the only one who can.
The man called Rolf, like, he hears her, all he hears is there's something horrible in here, and he drops the fries, and he dashes up the stairs,
No, the fries.
and he calls out, "Esmeralda, where are you?"
Don't open the door. She
Jesus
had to come in
Christ.
so quick that she didn't lock it.
She like slams her leg like against the door. She's like holding the door closed with her leg.
And like
Dude,
he hears her voice, and he's like, "The man called Rolf will save Esmeralda." He tries to kick down the door.
and then he
Oh
faints from
my
the smell. Just kidding.
Olaf catches up to him. He's like, "Let me handle this."
Oh no.
She keeps holding her
Goes
foot
with
to
the
the
fucking
door.
shotgun.
She keeps holding her foot against the door while she like releases, and then
Carnage with it.
and then you just hear loud noises,
She lets the bomb drop.
and then she's just like, "Don't come in here! It was the candy corn, that bloody candy corn!"
Reyes and Damien reach the funeral
We're
home.
just startled. We're like,
And
"The
you
fuck
see, Damien, you see the fries scattered all over the floor, beneath the stairs, like at the bottom of the stairs.
Shit.
I picked them up and it's like a moment of silence for our fallen brethren.
What's going on here?
They killed the fries, man. They didn't
Do I
deserve
see
this.
the commotion from downstairs, or do I have to go up to see it?
I mean, as soon as you walk up the stairs, you see, like, these two guys, like, standing near the bathroom, and you hear, like, a bunch of banging, and you hear Esmeralda yelling.
And the smell
Oi!
just fucking hits
Oi,
you.
stay away from there! I have stuff in there! No! I start sprinting. Olaf,
Damien just questions, like, what the hell is wrong with these
Olaf kicks in the door.
Esmeralda, roll under pressure. Roll act under pressure. Esmeralda,
Oh,
roll act under pressure. Yeah.
Oh boy.
oh my god. Please fail. Please fail.
It's -1.
Hi.
Oh, she
Thank
passed.
you.
The sound of the door bashing open coincides with the sound of the toilet flushing. And you all rush in, like all three of you fall into the bathroom at the same time. And Esmeralda's just like putting up her pants as everybody like falls into the bathroom. We pan out of the Winter's funeral home, and
You just hear me howl. No! My pentagram!
and we're gonna have a little bit of a time jump here. Great job solving this mystery, guys. I just want to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, you distracted us with the fucking diarrhea candy bar.
All right, so
That's how we die.
it's now a little bit later in the afternoon because that was pretty much morning.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
It's like our biggest rival so far. First pies, not plenty.
So Esmeralda and Rudius are back, or not Rudius. Esmeralda and Rolf are back down in the catacombs trying to train, but anytime Esmeralda's trying to run one of the drills, both of them keep bumping into the columns and the coffins and stuff in the catacombs. It's clear there's not enough space.
Well, the man called Rolf, it looks like we have to really test your skills.
The man called Rolf doesn't want to test down here anymore. There's not enough space. His shoulders are sore and he's rapidly tapping on the side of his head.
Oh,
Yes.
Olaf,
Oh, go ahead.
Olaf pulls a lever in the hidden room. And one side opens up, like
Jesus
not like
Christ.
into the hidden room, but like it just opens up so there's more space. Like
The fuck is this, Batcave?
the fucking wall's just like
Do we see
We're
Olaf?
fucking Batman.
No, it's just another. He's talking about another section
Yeah,
of
he
the
just has
catacomb.
levers in one room that open
Yeah.
up the wall in a different
He
side
just
of the
controls the fucking funeral home.
I
room. I feel
feel
like it's the
Fucking
freaking
Dishonored
Batcave
house.
down here.
if this was a
Yeah.
Metal
He is
Gear
the one that
Solid
bought
game,
it.
Rolf and Esmeralda would have exclamation marks over their heads.
Yeah.
There should be a cardboard box nearby just in case.
Okay. So Esmeralda says, "That's no excuse. The man called Rolf. Look, it seems the catacombs have heard you."
The man called Rolf is
She
not
doesn't even
creeped out
question
at
it.
all, and he kind of looks away.
Focus on the man called Rolf. Focus on what's going on now, not on your surroundings. Focus on the task at hand. Focus, focus, focus.
The man called Rolf thought we needed to go to the hayride, though.
We will go to the hayride and eat those delicious candy apples and hope they don't sit badly. All in good time. Due time? Whatever the saying is.
It's
Due time.
there's a few hours left before the ride actually opens up. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
But I have an excellent idea. Why don't we go into the forest and practice some of your skills?
The man.
Olaf pulls another lever, and another wall drops.
What the?
this one. Hang on. When you pull this lever, nothing happens. So you keep flipping it back and forth, and then so it finally flips open, and then the entire ceiling on that section just collapses.
And then the man called Rolf. Go ahead.
The man called Rolf thinks the funeral home is falling apart around us.
No, I was giving you a chance to be like, he focuses, and he grabs Esmeralda, and dashes out of the catacombs. But no, you had to...
You would have thought.
Well, it was the section that you guys weren't in anyway, but...
Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's go, the man called Rolf. Let's get out of here.
Actually, it's the section that blocks you off from exiting.
Oh
Well,
my god. Why are y'all fucking prolonging this shit for no reason?
Well, it looks like we're not going to any hayride.
Well, you have to
There's
exit.
monster
You can
jack
exit.
off to
You have
Rolf.
to exit through the
The opening.
mausoleum in the
Don't lie to yourself.
in the cemetery.
Anyways, okay, so we go through the mausoleum, I'm assuming.
All right, you guys step out into the cemetery. You guys head towards the woods, then.
Yeah.
The cemetery or the woods?
The man
Well, the
called
cemetery is in plain view of anybody that drives
Okay,
by.
let's go to the woods.
the man called Rolf is slightly nervous about going to the forest, but he supposes if we're training out there, then the man called Rolf can prevent harm to Star Lady if she's out there.
That's a very good point, the man called Rolf. That's exactly why I was doing this. Oh, so we go.
All right, you guys head over there. Olaf, do you follow them?
Yeah, he's like...
Stalker.
He's very
Stalker,
disappointed.
yeah.
He's like...
Creep is about is about Olaf.
Because Olaf wanted to keep working in his underground workshop, but he
Yeah.
also wanted to keep watching. So
Yeah. He's very like depressed, and like now he has a mess to clean up. He has to like rebuild that whole like section. So he's very sad, but he's like trudging along at a distance.
okay, Radius and Damien, what are you guys doing?
Fixing the shit.
Literally.
I still have the
Literal
fries.
shit.
Yeah.
I still have the fries.
Wow.
I'm muttering to myself, like, I know this shit smells like it smells worse than usual.
I walked past the bathroom like I am not cleaning that up. Good luck. Can just go to the room.
Keeping in mind that I think Esmeralda's room had a bathroom.
Yeah, she had to use the public.
It was the first one I could get to. I had to go.
She had no
Did you, want
time.
me,
She
did
just
you
ran.
really want Esmeralda to take a shit in the living room?
Nope.
Yeah,
It's better than Olaf taking a shit in the living room.
His
Olaf
really
doesn't
dry.
shit. He doesn't even
That
eat.
is true.
True.
Nice.
All
It's
right,
pretty much
Damien, so what are you doing?
Just cleaning my gun.
You guys
Don't worry
hear a knock at the door.
Knock, knock, knock.
Could you get that, Damien?
Sure. I take my gun with me just in case. Don't know.
See me wearing like a mask and just like with a toothbrush, just like scrubbing away.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the door. So walk away.
At the door, it's Mayor Hughes.
Howdy, Mayor. How's it going?
Howdy. Is Esmeralda home?
Yes, but do you have a gas mask?
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, she's in her room. I'll get it.
No, but he
I'm
doesn't know
assuming-
that.
Spoiler alert, I'm not in the room.
You go up and check. She's not
Oh,
in her room.
no.
Well, either she's not there
Who
or
is
she's
it,
there.
Damien?
It's the mayor. He's looking for Esmeralda.
It's because we fuck.
Oh.
Damn.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
That's why you killed the other mayor, so that you can find this one. That's when I walk out of the bathroom. Hey, mayor, what's going on?
Howdy. I'm looking for Esmeralda.
Be in the basement. Let me go check real quick. And by basement, in my head, I'm thinking of the catacombs, so I go down there to check if she's there.
You're
No,
impeded
obviously-
by a
no,
cave.
she's not there. Oh yeah, that's true.
Do I see
That's
the
true.
cave?
Actually, you just see like the whole entrance to the catacombs just like caved in.
What the fuck? I run back upstairs. I don't think she's at home, but I think a pipe burst downstairs, so
Wait, what?
we're in a bit of an emergency. I just give him the look, like shut the fuck up. And like, Mary, why don't you come back like tomorrow morning or something? I'll make sure she's here.
You're not gonna ask if he needs to give you a message.
Take a message, yeah.
He needs.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Do you want to leave a message with me?
It's just the same thing as last time. I have a business proposal. Here, he hands you his card. Just have her call me back later on tonight.
Okay,
We all know what that means.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll do that. Are you going to the little event in the woods? The little hayride or whatever?
He kind of like grabs his his suit, and he like both hands on the lapels, and he just like stands up all straight. Like, better. I'm the one who organized the whole thing.
Oh god.
Oh, that's cool. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you there later tonight.
All right, great. Yeah, we need to start getting rid of this attitude towards the woods after what happened a few months ago.
Yeah, I agree with that. It has a pretty dark reputation at this point in time.
But don't you worry, we're gonna get that right back on track.
Right.
Good on you.
Good luck with that.
So, okay, well, I guess let's go to the forest.
Okay, Esmeralda has the man called Rolf on the floor. You can tell he did not win
What?
this fight.
And like we
The
see.
man called Rolf.
Oh, go ahead.
You have to focus. Get up.
The man called Rolf is kind of like on his back, and his head kind of lolls over to the side, and the camera kind of zooms out, and we see the knife like dug into the ground, distant like a few feet away, and he kind of lazily reaches out for it without getting up.
She pushes in his chest to like make him stand up straighter, and then she like gets out a blindfold.
That man called
And
Rolf needs his eyes.
You do not need your eyes. You only need your third eye.
Oh boy.
That's my perk. And
Rudius, we'll get to that later, but we're gonna focus more on the concentration
Already
aspect
there.
of the third eye. Okay, so she ties the blindfold around his head.
The man called Rolf
Focus on
can...
your surround. Wait, what? Focus on the surroundings? I've been telling
Yes.
him to, focus on what's at
Ignore
hand.
the surroundings.
Maybe you decide to take a different approach.
Okay, so I'm going to decide to take a different approach here, the man called Rolf. And I'm not going to tell you this. This is my inner monologue. Now I'm talking to you, the man called Rolf.
Okay.
So I'm going... Try to focus on your surroundings. Breathe in the air. Listen all around for cracklings. Anything that seems unnatural.
The man called Rolf kind of like ever since Esmeralda put on the blindfold, his eyes have been open behind it, and he kind of because she can't see it, he kind of rolls his eyes and just kind of then slowly closes them, and at first everything is dark.
The man called Rolf. It might help to take yourself back to that place. Almost.
Oh, go ahead.
Separate your. Oh, I don't know if this is good, but we're gonna do it.
Do it.
She doesn't
Do
know
it.
what I mean. Okay. Separate your mind from your body. See yourself almost in a third-person point of view.
That makes sense, because Esmeralda's whole sect is all about like astral projection, rather than
Okay, good.
using your bodily self. They believe more in using your spiritual self.
So, like, the way that I'm seeing it is I'm trying to tell him to, like, put his mind in a different place and almost, like, watch himself and, like, okay.
Astral projection.
Yeah, there we go.
So I
That-
feel
yeah.
like so we see kind of something similar to in Stranger Things whenever Eleven goes into the Upside Down. So it's kind of like it's completely dark and there's like water beneath him again. And he's just kind of floating above the water.
Every object in your immediate vicinity, so it's almost like you see a blank dark space and just water beneath you, but slowly ripples start forming in the water, and out of the ripples creates this like kind of shadow version of your current surroundings. But also roll use magic.
Ooh, okay. Oh, right. So it's only gonna be a 1 bonus. Okay, I still rolled an 8.
Okay. Choose a glitch.
Let me see. Magic. Let's see. I like, the magic's gonna have a problematic side effect.
Okay. So, in a flash, you focus your mind, and all of this shadowy stuff, everything around you, it all takes on a red hue. And you get that vision back that you had when you were fighting Marianne, where you could see everything, and everything's kind of slowed down. And you can see Esmeralda running towards you with her dagger.
Oh shit. The man called Rolf kinda attempts to just sidestep it and get out of her way.
You do that. But the problematic side effect is that it kind of triggers an aggressive response in you. So you step out of the way in time, but then you have also time to stick out your leg and push Esmeralda down as she lunges towards it.
Well, the man called Rolf.
And then you snap out of it.
The Esmeralda, the man called Rolf is sorry. He doesn't know what came over him, and he's kind of fumbling, trying to pull the blindfold off.
She pulls her hands on his shoulder and she takes the blindfold off. She's not mad, you can tell. But she looks very sternly at you, and she says, "You were able to dodge, which is good. It's working. But try to focus more on control. Do not control your emotions. Don't let them take over you. You have to master them."
And the man called Rolf kind of looks up, and Esmeralda sees there's tinges of red around his eyes again.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
Fear leads to anger.
Leads to the dark side.
Anger leads to hate. And hate leads to murder. Just kidding.
That's a good twist.
Mother?
And then George Lucas walks up.
Oh my god.
Not again. Never again.
There was one thing you also noticed while you were in this state. So you were focused on the threat immediately in front of you, but you did notice Olaf watching you from the trees.
Esmeralda looks at the man called Rolf's eyes. She says, "Well, the hayride is going to start in about an hour and a half, and we still have to go back and get ready. Why don't you go rest for a bit and try to reflect on what you've learned today, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow."
The man called Rolf kind of just meekly nods, and he calls out, "Olaf, you should join the man called Rolf and Esmeralda now."
Olaf, what? And she looks around.
Olaf sort of shyly comes out from behind the trees that he was hiding behind.
He looks like fucking Slender Man in the trees because how tall he is.
Olaf! And it's like in SpongeBob when they say Nosferatu.
Oh yeah.
We're like, Olaf!
Okay, the three of you head back to Winters then.
We're home! And then she goes and grabs the other bag of candy.
Not again.
When she walks in, I just stare at her oh my god, I thought you guys died. I saw a cave in down there. What the fuck happened?
Rudius and Damien are all covered in dust and rocks because they were digging through all the rubble trying to get you guys out.
Yeah.
Why are you guys
How the hell did you guys get out? We thought we were trapped inside there or something.
There's a cave
There's a back way out.
The man called Rolf kind of
See.
walks up to Rudius, runs a finger, and gets some some rock dust off of it, and kind of licks his finger, and makes a really gross face, like he tasted something bitter.
I make a pretty gross taste. Yeah, there've been dead people down there for eons, man.
Sorry.
It's probably dead.
The man called Rolf did not enjoy that taste.
Esmeralda opens up the bag of candy and just starts eating the candy, while watching all of this.
I look at him and say, "You sure you should be eating that?"
Use your own bathroom next time.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
I'm sure.
Rudius, Rolf eyes the bag of candy.
What?
The man called Rolf he almost instantly, teleports to Esmeralda, and he's like, his eyes are wide, and he's staring right at the bag of candy.
Do you want a piece?
And he kind of, like a little kid, he, just nods really quickly.
Okay,
Damien whispers to Rudius, can you make, gas masks or something for future?
The man called Rolf, try to focus on your needs and not your wants.
Oh, okay.
And then she
room.
holds out her hand, and she has a piece of candy in the center of her palm, and she says, if you need this piece of candy, focus.
The man called Rolf kind of closes his eyes, and
Olaf has a Kit Kat.
She throws, while she has one of her hands held out for the man called Rolf, she throws the Kit Kat at Olaf's head.
It does one harm.
Rolf, roll... Use magic.
A Kit Kat?
That's gonna be a 9.
Kit Kat?
Alright, choose a glitch.
It's official, we're dying by food.
The fact
You almost did last episode.
Yeah.
We have some people obsessed with food, man.
Hey, man. Pies are
the
life.
magic draws immediate,
Can't go wrong with
unwelcome attention.
Oh.
No,
That's
God.
when I yell, what the fuck?
Okay. Yeah. So, you get your, you see red. That's what we're gonna call it now.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it see red. I'm gonna make a custom move for you for that.
Yes!
Oh, boy.
So,
I want to move.
you see red and you grab the piece of candy before she can react.
Oh.
However,
Shit,
you
bullet time
both
for max
hear, and by both I mean Rudius and Rolf, you hear, Alan's reaction, and the medallions start going all crazy. So how does Alan react to seeing you tap into your powers?
What? How can you do that without me? You can't just leave me in here! And the amulet starts shaking almost as if if it was a jail cell, Alan is shaking the jail the bars trying to get out.
You can see the amulet going crazy, but you can't hear him.
What's going on with your necklace there?
His other half's going crazy in there.
That makes sense.
The man called Rolf
He's
is
becoming
kind of
powerful without him.
the man called Rolf, the eyes of red just kind of disappear, and he's staring fearfully at the amulet, and he starts tapping the left side of his head again.
She
Don't worry,
lowers
Ralph.
his hand,
You're safe.
and she says, "There's no need to fear. He's afraid. Let him be. He's afraid that you have control, and that when and if you reunite, he won't be able to take you over like he once did."
And at that second, you hear from outside, as if from some big speakers, "Come one, come all, to the haunted hayride in the Medroot Wood."
Esmeralda gets super excited, and then she grabs this huge candy bag, and she throws
Oh, no.
it's an empty candy bag, and she throws one at each of them, and it matches their outfits.
So what candy does everybody get then?
Well, okay, so they don't have it's
They're trick-or-treating bags.
Yeah, the
Ah,
trick-or-treating
okay.
bags. And so the cat, and then the scarecrow. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Only $5 for a hayride through these haunted woods, culminating at the pumpkin patch where you can pick your very own pumpkin to carve and put on display this Hallows Eve.
All right, let's go.
When I heard the $5 price tag, I sort of got worried and take the money out of my bra that I'm wearing and start counting it.
I just
do I have 5? Alright, I have 5. I have 6 actually. That's good. Put it back into my bra. I'm alright guys, let's get going.
I take 3 steps back and just
I feel like everyone is awkwardly staring at Rudius.
yeah, all of
And
us.
then Esmeralda looks over at Damien, and she says, do you have one in your bra too? Do you have someone
Oh,
in there?
shit.
And she like kind
Hell
of gets
no.
close to him and like looks
Touch
into
me and
his like top.
We have
He pulls out the assault rifle.
we're
Like,
pretty
stay back from me.
we're pretty progressive on this podcast. We've got a gay relationship, and we've got a burgeoning cross dresser.
And incest.
Don't worry about it.
Well,
Yes.
let's not promote that, but
But
That's,
hey,
that's,
it's
that's
okay.
not.
Even
That's,
cousins. I hear that it doesn't affect the child.
cool. So you guys head out to the woods. As you guys arrive, you see the first clearing. It's like all lit up. There's like these like you know
lit.
those. It's
Oh,
lit.
no.
You see those lights. You know the ones that have like the generator that they set up at like outdoor events and like block parties and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
those all around the clearing, and it's all lit up, and you see the pumpkin patch everywhere. But you see that that's not where you actually enter. You see a couple of pickup trucks with like wood, like crate wood on the sides. Do you know what I'm saying? Like kind of as like a fence
Kinda.
around
Oh yeah,
around
yeah.
the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, on the bed.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
instead of
Right.
like a camper shell.
Yeah, exactly. And you see some small hay bales stacked in there as like seats. So there's two pickup trucks, and they're like you see a few people loading in, and that one's heading off into the woods through a specified trail. And you see a few deputies milling about, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, we head towards the pickup trucks, I guess.
Well, the man called Rolf is actually gonna walk towards the deputies.
Well then.
Damien is gonna search for candy apples.
Okay, you walk up to Deputy Sanders.
Oh, Esmeralda goes. Oh, actually, Esmeralda.
Bernie Sanders.
No one told Esmeralda
Um,
about the fucking mayor. Okay, so she doesn't do shit.
Oh, hey, by the way, Esmeralda, the mayor was looking for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't tell us why, but he was talking about some business proposal or something.
Did he say where I could find him?
He gave you.
He's
he
gonna
gave
be
you the
here
card.
somewhere, apparently. Yeah, he's organizing this whole
And at
event.
They should
that,
be here.
she goes off and looks for the mayor.
Nice.
There we go.
Good job, guys.
You're welcome.
You're always so great
Right?
on informing everyone.
Right? It's called communication.
So you see the
We're good at
mayor talking to one of the deputies.
She like goes and like stands and waits for him to finish his conversation. Yeah.
Okay. He looks over. Esmeralda,
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
listen, you're the owner of the funeral home now, correct?
That is correct.
Listen, we've got a bit of a situation in this town. See, we don't technically have a morgue or a coroner. We never really needed one, but seeing as we've had a string of incidents lately, I feel it'd be proactive to set something up where we can investigate these incidents as they occur rather than having to wait for an out-of-town lab to give us any results. The sheriff's department is obviously at their capacity for what they can handle, so I believe that outsourcing this particular task would be the best way to handle it.
Okay, so are you asking to use our funeral home, or are you asking us to become?
Well, we would require the use of the location, obviously, but that really all depends on whether any of you have the sort of training to perform the duties of a coroner. I'm afraid I'm not aware of what your credentials are.
Well, actually, all right, let's go BS my way through this.
Oh boy.
I used to run a morgue back with my family in Avondale. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's this town in California.
No, I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar.
It's a small town, sort of like this, a little bit bigger. But yeah, I used to help with that, and I started my training, but I can complete it, and we can open it back up, the Winter's Funeral Home, as a morgue.
Listen, that any formal training isn't, what I mean is, you don't really need a degree or certification or anything. pull some strings about that. It's more of whether you're willing and capable.
Willing and capable to examine a corpse.
Correct, and prepare funeral arrangements, etc.
I think I can, if I'm not willing at the time, I think I can, some of my colleagues would be. I can talk it over with them, even though I do own it. I see it as I see it as being an establishment of all of us.
Fantastic. This is going to be a tremendous victory for my administration.
Oh, victory, yes. Also, is there going to be any, compensation involved?
Naturally, the city council, I'm putting a vote through today, and if those more, let's just call it what it is, those liberals will let us push this bill through, then we can have you up and running in as little as a month.
Okay. Well, that sounds excellent to me. Is there anything else I can help you with, Mayor?
No, I don't believe so. My office will be in contact.
I actually do have, a question for you, Mayor. Actually, a proposition or, actually a favor, it would be called.
Actually.
Yeah?
Sheriff Coslow, correct? I'm not correct, what? I'm not asking a question. Sheriff Coslow is, in the forest helping out, I think with this hayride, or with something else. How much do you know, or are you involved in, the sheriff's department?
I'm afraid I'm not as involved as I was before, seeing as I had to, give that up. It's a conflict of interest, you understand?
Yes, well, and she, kind of pulls him away from, any other group of people. You know, my friends and I, we have this way of knowing things that others don't.
I'm aware you do some spooky stuff. I don't want to know any details.
You don't have to. The only thing I can tell you is that we do fear that Sheriff Coslow being in the woods is dangerous.
Do you suspect that she's planning something?
Not exactly her. I don't think she's involved in anything. I think she might be a victim at some point. And we're not involved at all. We just want to keep her safe, and I feel if she was away from the woods, it would be in her best interest. Why can't you just tell me?
Yeah, I guess I can't just cut it out, can I?
It would be in her best interest.
I'll see what I could do. Like I said, I don't have much control over the sheriff's department anymore. But some people still owe me some favors. We'll see.
Okay, well...
Should I roll manipulate someone? Yeah, you failed.
Oh, wait, no? That wasn't my roll.
You got a 5.
Yes, sir. You rolled twice.
No, I got an 8.
She tried
I got an 8.
She tried to bamboozle
No,
you.
I didn't know. I actually rolled. I didn't.
Alright, well, if that's it, I'm gonna get back to talking to the constituents.
Yeah, that's it. Do you have a phone number I can call you at?
You can contact my office. Mr. Sanders, please. He walks off.
Okay. She, mumbles to herself. And then she goes and tries to find her friends.
Where is everybody?
Looking for candy
We're
apples?
by the pickup.
Yes.
By the pickup truck? Okay. A guy greets you. He looks like a bum. Straight up like a bum. The driver. How many are you?
There's 5 of us?
Alright. It's $5. And Esmeralda joins you
Ahead?
guys. Yeah, it's $5 a person.
She takes out $30. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. $30. No. I know how to do math. $25.
I'm done.
And she says, and she waves it out she's rich. And she says, "Here you go, sir."
They're all in ones.
My fingers are like halfway into my bra.
He
Like,
counts
oh,
it.
Okay.
No
Really
tip.
awkward, so I just move away again.
And she like takes out $3. Here you go, sir.
He takes it and he counts it and he like grumbles something and he gets into the truck. Well, load up.
Okay, and as they're loading up, she like looks at them all and she says, I was offered a proposition by the mayor.
What was it?
Did a job?
Yes, it's a job.
Does it pay?
Yes, it pays.
Okay, I'm in.
What's the job?
So, they want us to open up a morgue in our funeral home.
You have plenty of space for that.
And we do have spirits.
He said we don't need any sort of training. We just need to be up to it.
Is that legal?
He said he could pull some strings.
So he'll make it legal.
Yes.
Alright, fair enough.
Is anything that we do legal? Let's get real.
What's the compensation? What did he say he's going to give us?
I didn't ask about that part. But if it's not good enough, we can just tell him we won't do it.
Damien, your cell phone
You
rings.
should ask him to...
What?
Your cell phone rings, Damien.
Your cell phone rings.
Oh, I answer. Hello?
Toombs,
Yes?
you've received our correspondence?
Not recently.
God damn it, Toombs.
I think he's talking about the funeral home.
Listen. You've been reassigned.
Oh.
To where?
You were there at Sam's Landing in a temporary capacity. You were to investigate any happenings and report them. You've accomplished your mission, and now you're being reassigned. Toombs, are you there?
Hello?
They're finally gone. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, I'm there, sir. I heard a reassignment, and I didn't exactly hear where.
Toombs, goddammit. Pay attention to what I'm saying. As the driver heads further into the woods, you start losing the connection.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Can't hear you. Go into a tunnel. I hang up the phone.
Ass.
Yes.
Well, goodbye to you too. I hang up the phone. So,
What was that?
just an asshole. Our boss.
You're not going to tell us anything of what happened?
Apparently, he says I might be reassigned, but I couldn't get any clarification where or why or how.
The hayride progresses into the woods, and you get further and further from the lit area, and it gets really dark all of a sudden.
Ooh,
And then you get to an area where there's like torches that they almost seem to be coming out of the tree, like almost like as if they're nailed into the tree, but it looks as if there's branches sticking out of the tree that are on fire, but it's not, because the whole fucking woods would be on fire. But that's what these torches look like, and you guys progress through, and you head into a hollow in the woods. So are you guys familiar of what a hollow looks like?
No.
Kind of like an opening, right?
It's kind of like where the trees form this like natural like tunnel or dome, and it gets really quiet, and you can hear like there's like a spooky Halloween soundtrack coming from the car, but other than that, the woods are silent.
Esmeralda starts singing, "It was the mash. It was the monster mash. The monster mash."
Do I see anything unusual? Is it my third eye?
Why don't you read a bad situation?
That's an 8.
Okay, so you hold 2 or 3? You hold 2.
Yes, I do hold 2.
You don't see it. You don't see anything invisible with your third eye.
Alright. Yes, questions. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yes.
What's the biggest threat?
The biggest threat is how isolated everything is because of how these branches form around everything. There's vines all over the place, and the tires could easily get stuck. And if somebody were to try to run through here, they would easily get like tangled up in the thorns and the branches and the vines and everything.
I got a bad feeling about this place. Like, but yeah, like if something were to happen here, something bad, like getting help or getting out of here would be really difficult.
Nobody
pats him on the shoulder.
As you drive through, you get to a particularly dark part. It seems like the torches have stopped, and you hear the track, the spooky Halloween sounds kind of like and cut out. And you hear the driver like, god damn it, and he's like smacking the dashboard trying to get it to play again. But in the silence, you all hear movement in the darkness.
Slash-slinging slasher.
So not the hash-slinging slasher.
Hash-slinging slasher.
Do we see anything with the
sight?
Sight, yeah.
No.
The man called Rolf would like to see red.
Alright. For see red, you're gonna roll plus weird.
Okay. Booyah. So that's gonna be an 11.
Okay. You close your eyes and you focus on your surroundings. Your red vision comes up and you can see clearly in the darkness because of kind of this puddle ripple effect. And it almost seems as if the vines and the branches and the trees themselves are moving.
The man called Rolf sees something moving. He thinks it might be the foliage. And he kind of points in the direction where he saw the vines and trees moving.
It almost looks like they're moving out of the way and creating this tunnel through the forest.
The man called Rolf implores the driver, stop the truck!
Shut up back there. Trying to get this damn thing working.
The man called Rolf said stop the truck.
I feel like the man called Olaf just kind of reaches out and grabs a branch and holds the truck.
Oh, Jesus.
So he lets up on the gas and puts it in park. Hey, what the hell are you doing back there? He steps out of the truck, and as soon as his foot touches the ground, you just hear him go, ah!
I look over to see what happened.
What was that?
I take up my assault rifle.
I like kind of lean over the truck to see if like what it was.
The man called Rolf, the red starts to fade away a little bit. Or, I mean, it stops. Like you're back. Yeah. I'll define the terms of that move after this session, so we can actually know how long it lasts and everything. But you guys hear just complete and utter silence now.
We don't see that guy anymore.
No.
The man called Ralph pulls out his revolver.
Can I look at the ground just to see if there's anything unusual other than the vines and shit? If there's a hole or anything you fell into?
Well, so, like I said before, everything is pitch black. So it's really hard to see anything. You can hardly see your hand in front of your face.
Does anyone have any light?
The man called Rolf just aims the revolver up and pulls the trigger.
Shit,
Quick, Damien, give me your phone.
Does Esmeralda's crystal create light?
Here.
No, but
I give him the phone and then ready my assault rifle in case.
Yeah, Rolf, you fire your gun?
Yeah.
God damn it.
It hits one of us.
In the flash, you see that all around you there's branches, like almost as if they were reaching towards you. You see it in the flash. And you guys have like a split second to react.
Can I create a dome, like a air dome around us?
Ooh. Use magic.
Force field.
Force field.
Field activate.
Force field. Hang on.
Boy.
I was gonna freeze the plants.
9.
Choose a glitch.
No one's gonna help me?
I can help you in the form of like freezing the.
I can't do shit with magic, so.
The stuff.
Yeah, if he freezes if he adds the ice effect to the glow, would that be considered a help?
I can give you a +1. Because I have 3 and I've only used 1. I give him a +1.
Okay. How do you do that? And then Olaf, you can do that. You could kind of add your ice to his dome, but you have to explain how you do that and how that works.
I help him. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't know how I would do it. Does anyone have suggestions?
What are you trying to do?
Help him.
Nice.
For you,
What
Susi,
type of spells do you use?
it's
'Cause
like
I'm not sure.
no. For Susi, it's that she got from her vision at the beginning of the mystery. She has 3 holds to give to people. So the idea is that in that vision, you saw things that are going to happen.
Okay,
so
so-
for this situation,
I
you
got
would
it.
have something planned
Yeah.
already that would help them.
Just like before I even cast the ward.
She had a premonition.
Cast the ward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She already had something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What
Just
would
go
you
back
have?
in time and ask me to cast the ward.
Okay, so I rewind it, and before even like the lights or anything happens, I have him.
No, it's not a rewind. It's more that you knew that this was going to happen, so you prepared for it.
Have something
wait.
ready for this.
So like, what helps him? Okay.
So maybe like a
what helps you with your
talisman?
magic again? Yeah.
What helps me with my magic? More magic?
No, like, how do you cast and stuff?
Like, what do you have to remember?
He has to use his incantations
Oh, yeah.
and his
Incantations
gestures.
and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe Esmeralda had an incantation that she knew that she hands to you.
Yeah, like I hand him an incantation that I got from earlier because I knew this was gonna happen.
Alright, okay.
You have to hold it up really
Alright.
close to your face, but you read it and do your gestures with your other hand. What is the incantation?
It is Gelidas Capulas. Means freezing ice coffin.
Wow.
And
Sick. So you're incorporating Olaf then?
yeah,
Okay, so then Olaf, you're gonna roll help out then.
beer enough for a go. Okay.
It's 7. How do I help out?
That's up to you.
Just
Perhaps
put your,
I
like-
remembered a ice rune or something.
Well, so
Isn't there
the
magic
effect that
usually
you rolled
ice?
is your help grants them +1 to the roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. So maybe you stand up and you cover him from the branches as he performs his incantation, and that kind of imbues his magic into the spell.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does that make sense? Is that
Yeah.
okay? So
We hear you.
that's what you do then.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Rudius, what was your roll?
With all the plus is gonna be 11.
Okay.
Someone else help! Let's get a 12!
You feel the whoosh of air explode from Rudius, and it almost knocks you. It seems like it's gonna knock you guys off of the bed, but it just kind of like flows through you and out of you, and then you hear all around you just of like these branches like scraping on this wind. It almost sounds like when branches are being blown against a window. And it's making that like scraping
Yeah.
noise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like a lot of branches.
But the dome engulfs the entire truck.
Can I use Damien's phone to create whatever source of light I can?
I mean, it's a really old phone. It doesn't really... it makes like a tiny bit, like barely anything, but...
It's like that small little backlight.
Like,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
old school, yeah.
Also, how much damage did I take, and how did I take damage if the thing surrounded the thing?
No, it just says you expose yourself to danger. So we'll say that as you cover him, they slash at your back. So,
So as the barrier's like expanding outward, I get...
they're
they
like
reach me.
slashing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're, we'll say that you take 1 harm because they wouldn't have a chance to really hit you that hard. And so your thing will protect you from it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what do you guys do?
We need some light to assess the situation. Anyone got any ideas?
Do not have any. Can anyone cast
Not
any-
fire.
Why not fire?
You just made an ice barrier.
Well, it's magic, man. Regular fire's not gonna do much to
The
it.
man called Rolf attempts to tap it, like he tries to feel it, he feels summons a feeling of hope from deep within him. It almost seems like there's almost like a hint of light coming out, and then it fizzles out, just like the embers before.
Okay.
Esmeralda can't do anything with her crystal?
Roll use magic. Man called Rolf.
Okay, so yeah, Yara can't help us because he doesn't create light.
We could do it the old school way. Get a bunch of branches, a couple of stones, and start whacking.
Rolf, you're gonna use magic?
I didn't think I'd be able to actually do anything without access to Alan.
Fine, man.
Yeah, I mean...
No, you're just at a -1, remember?
My dice... Well, my dice reflect that, because I rolled a 3. Oh, well, that's with 5 with the bonus, but yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, what you said happened. What you said earlier about the light almost coming through and then fizzles out.
Yeah.
And, Rudius, you actually see that, and you think back about what you're gonna train Rolf on, specifically for the magic. But, anyway, that happens in a split second. Damien, what do you do?
Do I have any light, like any lighter or anything on with me?
You can have a lighter.
I should have it, right? So we can say that I showed Rudy's light. It's like, will this work? It's not much, but something.
This guy, you had a lighter this whole
You had
time?
a lighter the whole time?
Oh, I just found
Hey,
it.
Olaf, could you reach over and grab a few branches that we can light up to make a makeshift campfire on the bed of the truck?
You're sitting on bales of hay.
Oh,
Great idea. Okay, let's say that inside of each of your goodie, like the bags that don't have any candy in them, there's something.
A fucking lighter?
Can we say that, GM? Okay.
Yeah,
and so
I know what you're thinking, yeah.
That's where Damien found the lighter. He was like, I have a lighter. And then, let's say...
Oh, I was thinking something else, actually.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so Damien just had the lighter.
But you do remember that they have something in their goodie bags?
So, I remember and I say, I forgot to tell you all, each of you have a surprise in your goodie bags. So within, what realm does this have to be within?
No, I already have what item it is.
So you'll tell us? Okay.
I stick my hand in there to see what it is.
You all do at the same time, and at the same time you all pull out a glow stick.
with the string.
Yeah, with the string, like the necklace ones.
Okay.
Well, not the necklace ones, but the ones that have a string, so you can put it around your neck.
Yeah. So
this is a fantastic set of events.
Mine's the same color as my eyes.
Oh
Ooh,
my god.
Yeah.
So she cracks her glow stick and she puts it around her neck.
What's everybody's color of glow stick?
Red.
Mine's yellow because I'm a clown.
Oh my god.
How about you, Olaf?
The frosty blue of my soul.
Jesus.
I'll just go with
I guess
green.
that leaves orange for the man called Rolf.
Red.
No,
Yeah,
No,
someone
red
else is using red.
Wait, who gets purple? No.
no, purple is the man called Rolf.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm cool with this.
Okay, so you guys all have a light source. It still doesn't light up like a whole bunch, but at least your immediate area is pretty well lit.
It's lit, fam.
Oh no.
Who wants to take a chance and get off the truck?
I will.
I volunteer, Olaf.
Alright, go for it.
Olaf
Okay.
steps off the bed of the truck.
Take a shotgun with you.
And then Esmeralda jumps on his back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why?
I jump on her
Oh my
back.
god.
Let's go hay riding.
I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you do, Olaf,
just
once you
face
get off the
palm.
truck?
Showing these people.
I make my way to the edge of the
Downtown.
barrier,
Okay.
and I step over the threshold of the barrier.
He's walking
As
fast.
soon as your foot touches outside of the barrier, you hear the whipping of vines and trees, and you can feel it coming straight for your leg.
And I command it to freeze.
Oof,
Just command.
roll use magic.
Oh, that sounds like a bad oof. Like I'm in trouble. God damn it.
There's never a good
Choose a
one.
glitch.
Okay, this was magic, yes?
Yes.
It has a problematic side effect.
Oh boy.
The branches that are going towards your leg freeze, and you can see kind of like the little glinting of frost on them coming from your glow stick. But Rudius, you feel the dome start to recede and come towards you, and it's closing in.
Oh god, yes.
Oh, no, this is not good.
What's happening?
Guys, be ready! The dome's about to disappear.
Why don't
Shit,
you
I
all...
ready myself
Actually, never mind. I'm gonna let you guys do whatever you do.
Esmeralda jumps off of the hay wagon.
Okay.
I
what do you
jump
do?
off too and
And she
ready my
does a
weapon.
roll.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna start showing off her combat skills.
Okay.
She does like a tuck and roll thing, and then she like stands up and she starts climbing one of the trees.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
Rambo.
And then as she's about to climb one of the trees, she decides maybe this isn't a good idea. And then she jumps on Olaf's
Okay.
back for real this time.
Okay, well, Olaf is almost immediately outside of the barrier since it starts receding.
Oh, then never mind. She keeps like backing away with the barrier.
Oh my.
Well, just so you are aware, everything's frozen, like, in my immediate vicinity, so...
Yeah. But
You're
not,
safe for a
like-
couple
Try and make a
seconds.
run for it.
Yeah. You do notice, though, when you hop out, Esmeralda, that the keys are still in the truck.
Oh. So then she goes in the front of the truck and she says, "The keys are still in the truck. Get back on, Olaf."
Hey, is it possible for me to move the little barrier with the truck? With me in the center or something? So
You're
that-
gonna have to act
so
under
like,
pressure.
Go for it.
I'm willing to.
Oh, and then I can use help of friend, and you can get +2 if I'm successful.
Yeah, so you can
So-
kind of
Yeah.
help him by driving slow enough to where he can keep up with
Yeah.
it. So you roll help out.
Oh, okay, you need to fucking fast.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh
My cool's -1.
Hey, remember, you have a... luck
Oh, I use my. Wait, should I
or
use
whatever.
Roll
luck?
for
I did.
Oh.
I use a luck.
Ooh.
Wait, how many lucks do you have, Rudius?
I have used 3 already.
Fine, I'll take one for the team. So then you get
You know,
+2.
I should
Okay.
use luck. I should.
Yeah.
You haven't used yours
Nope.
yet.
I keep forgetting.
Well, okay. Alright, so that means that you got a 7 on the act under pressure. As you're driving through, you see the driver, and he's held up by one of the branches, and there's more branches heading towards him as if they're gonna impale him. And you can sustain the spell and keep going, fully protected. Or you can release it to let everybody know that the driver is there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh lord. References.
I can't speak at all right now because I'm sustaining.
Right.
Yeah, you keep repeating the chant.
Yeah, you keep repeating the incantation.
The driver was kind of an asshole.
Well, he's just an old country guy, whatever. Is he does the driver look conscious?
Yeah,
Or
he's
is he
screaming
dead?
and flailing around, but well, actually, he's not screaming because there's like branches wrapped around his face, but you can see him flailing around, and he's still trying to fight him off.
Damn.
but
Are these like the
he
branches
can't.
from Evil Dead?
Sure.
You know what? I'm gonna stop sustaining and tell him that driver's up there.
So I use my luck
Instantly-
for nothing.
Everything goes away, and you hear the whooshing of the trees and everything, and they're all rushing towards the truck, and they start slashing at the truck and trying to stab the tires as it's moving. Remember that Esmeralda is driving a little bit slow for you to sustain it, so you have a chance to do something about the driver. All of you do.
Esmeralda, does Esmeralda hear this?
You're pretty focused on driving. You hear it, but you're driving, so unless you stop driving, you can't really do anything about it.
Should I stop?
The man called Rolf aims his revolver at the vines that are holding up the driver and attempts to shoot them so that they detach and let the driver fall to the ground.
Roll kick some ass.
Fuck, where'd that?
Let's say it was a 6. Oh, no, I was talking only one of them.
Wait, oh wait,
Well,
that's
can
that's
I
an act
help
under
with that?
pressure. Actually, that's a 5.
No, it wasn't. It was a kick some ass.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it was a 6.
Can I help with the action by? Well, it was would be a follow up rather than a help. So I guess it can.
No,
I was
actually,
gonna
no,
say
no,
that
no.
maybe.
Oh, well, it's the same result, but that's a protect someone roll, actually.
Oh,
Hold on, are we under the assumption that I was in the truck?
Yeah,
No.
you're in the
Oh, we
bed.
know that you
Wait,
got out, right?
yes, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought I was still
Sound
staying outside, but that's cool. Just to make sure so I know how to take action.
Is it possible to help him by cushioning that guy's fall, even though that would be more of a follow up rather than help?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't really help.
Yeah. Yeah, can I use wind magic to try and pull that guy? Or maybe we use the wind magic to whip the, or like blow the little branches away from
Well,
the
okay, so technically, the Mekon roll failed his protect someone roll, so that lets me make a hard move. So
okay, go for
the
it.
shot misses, and you see all of the branches kind of like, they almost twitch as if they're reacting to the shot, and then they just extend and impale this guy, and he's straight up dead.
fuck.
I pop another bubble around.
Okay, roll use magic,
Goes of Allah.
and then say your incantation again.
Alright. It's a Japanese one. Fujin Kakai!
My god.
Oh my god.
Okay, roll.
Come on, man. Let me weeb out a little. 13.
Okay.
Yes.
The added effect is that you don't have to sustain this one. This one will follow the truck.
Nice.
So Esmeralda drives us out of the woods.
Okay. As you reach the end of the hayride, remember that it ends in the pumpkin patch. You see everybody kind of celebrating and just having a good time. You see a couple of deputies over in the corner, and they're pointing off into the woods. And they're kind of talking about something. But right as you reach the clearing, you see a familiar man that stops the truck. And he walks up to the driver's side, and he opens the door. And it's the man from the diner.
Yep.
And he smiles this black, rotted smile at Esmeralda. So how did you enjoy the hayride?
The man called Rolf jumps out of the back of the truck.
And that's what we'll pick up next
I
week!
was gonna say something on 1, then the man called Rob, and then 2, and then Julio says that's what we're gonna pick up next week.
Thanks a lot for listening, everyone. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating on iTunes. You actually don't have to leave a full review. You can just click 5 stars, and that's it. It's
And you
just
can
one
say,
click.
these guys are awesome, possum.
If you do leave a review, we will read it on the air and give you a shout out.
And we'll read it, and then we'll weep out the happy tears.
Because we...
Yeah, because it makes us feel good to see those reviews on there. So go ahead and do that. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CryptFails Inc. You can follow me at Hail Julio on Twitter and at Hail Julio1 on Instagram.
You can follow me on Instagram at Susie_Possum, or on Twitter, or both, at Susie Possum.
You can find me on Instagram at HDR.
Actia.
Yeah.
Check the show notes.
You can follow me at Farhan Isaac at both Twitter and Instagram, though I don't post any, so just DM me.
I feel
We
you. know.
post about emergency kittens.
And you can find me
Yes.
on Twitter and Instagram at Captain Naiho. Capitan Naiho.
It's Nihil.
Yeah. And yeah, show notes. There you go.
And you can probably find me on Twitter at Aries_Haven. Be free.
Sick. And be sure to check back on the website. We're always adding new stuff on there, and it's completely free, and you can play with your friends and do whatever, play with yourself, do whatever you want to do. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Don't die on Halloween. Make sure to check your kids' candies or your own candies for revolvers.